What is good? What is good? It is My City, My Game pod show with your boy Raider J77. This is Raider J Reaction Tuesday. I'd like to welcome y'all to the show. We got a lot to talk about. I got my shades on because I'm trying to keep it chill today because Sunday was a little bit aggressive and a little bit crazy. So we're chilling out today.
Welcome to the My City, My Game pod show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go.
Yo, man, we are just going to set up the call-in line for all of those who want to call into the show today to give their reactions to all the NFL scores for the week, all of the stats for the week. I'm going to be going over every single game for you NFL fans because you know what? I don't just like the Raiders, man. I like all of the NFL, man. I like to watch everything. I like to keep up with everything. I do fantasy football, you know. Hold on, I got to put my armrests down, man, because again, today it's a chill day, man. Sunday was a rough day for me. I had to cut it off early on Sunday, man. 7 hours of live streaming and one of the worst games that I've ever watched my Raiders play. So I got to tone it down, man. I got to chill it out today. So I'm going to be kicking back in my rocky chair, right? And just going over some of the stuff, man, for Raider J Reaction Tuesday. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you are tuning in live, make sure you jump in, man. Jump into the chat, man, and let me know what's good with you, man. Let me know that you're here so I can shout you out. What's up, Water King Anonymous? He said, hey, Terminator, what's up? What's going on, man? What's going on? Like I said, man, I'm trying to keep it chill today. I'm trying to keep it real low-key because Sunday was rough. Sunday was super rough. So, yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned. And if you are just watching, I appreciate every single one of you, all the subscribers out there. If you're watching for the first time, make sure you hit that notification or hit the subscribe button, the notification bell to get all the notifications. I got a 500 subscriber giveaway coming up. And I'm going to have details of that here within the next coming days. So make sure you hit that notification bell so that way, as soon as that video comes out detailing what it is you need to do to be a part of that giveaway, which is going to be dope, that you get that notification. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, man, and we're going to get it right into this NFL Raider J Reaction Tuesday. So the first game on the docket that we have today that we're going to break down and talk about is the Texans versus the Detroit Lions. Now, this game happened right before somebody or some people, a couple of people lost their jobs. Another COVID-19 job loss, you say? No. This was just purely a terrible coaching job done by these two and a GM job done by these two. So Matt Patricia gets fired. The Lions fall to the Texans 41-25. Now I'm telling you, man, the Texans, since firing Bill O'Brien, another coach victim of COVID-19 firings, Bill O'Brien, ever since he was fired, this team looks a little different. This is a different team. So they're looking a lot better. But the question is, are they going to be a true contender? They're 4-7 on the season. They're tied with the Lions. They both got coaches that have been fired. The GM from the Lions is fired, right? They called up Donald Trump. You're fired. So let's get right into it, man. Let's take a look at this game. Let's pull up the box score. Let's see what we got going on here, man. Because this was actually a good game. And I picked the Texans to win this game. I knew they were going to win because Matt Patricia is an utter failure as a head coach. Great defensive coordinator with New England, utter failure as a head coach for the Lions. All right, so we got Deshaun Watson, 17 of 25 for 318 yards, averaged 12.7 yards per pass, 4 touchdowns. He was sacked twice, but he had a passer rating of 150.4. Deshaun Watson is an impressive quarterback. It is a crying shame that they are wasting his talent in Houston. Matt Stafford, 28 of 42, 295 yards, averaging 7 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 4 times, a passer rating of 84.9. Matthew Stafford is like the Wonder Bread of bread, right? Just average, plain, nothing fancy, gets the job done. Doesn't really excite you too much. He's soft, comforting. We all know him. That's Matthew Stafford, right? He's the Wonder Bread. He's Wonder Bread. I'm gonna call him Wonder Bread, Matthew Wonder Bread Stafford. Just gets the job done. Nothing spectacular. Up next, Houston's rushing, 9 carries for 37 yards, 4.1 yards a carry, not too shabby. No rushing touchdowns on the game. Adrian Peterson ran the ball 15 times for 55 yards. He averaged 3.7 yards per carry. What's up, Marcus85? Elway trades for him. You know what? I wouldn't doubt it, man. Elway loves to bring in mediocre. Elway is a fan of mediocre. We all know that. I mean, ever since, he took a gamble on Peyton Manning, but luckily that worked out because they had a great defense, but Peyton Manning was average at that point. Kerryon Johnson, 11 carries, 46 yards, 4.2 yards a carry. Adrian Peterson, 2 touchdowns, man. Old man Adrian Peterson still doing it. A couple of touchdowns for Detroit. Will Fuller was Houston's top receiver, 6 receptions, 6 catches for 171 yards. Man, that is not a bad day at the office for Will Fuller, the 5th. 2 touchdowns on the game. Duke Johnson had a touchdown, and so did CJ Precise had a touchdown. So Deshaun Watson was slinging the rock around the field, man, to different receivers. So it's beautiful, man. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. If you're just tuning in, man, I got my shades on. I'm trying to keep it low key and chill. I was a little bit, it was a little bit stressful on Sunday. I was a little bit angry. I did a lot of yelling. I did a lot of cursing, and because my Raiders just, but I'm chill today, man. So I got my shades on. I got my Dodger hat on, trying to remember that I am still a fan of a decent team, a team that actually can win a championship. So moving on. TJ Hawkinson, 5 receptions, 89 yards, no touchdowns, but he was their leading receiver. And Mohamed Sanu Sr. had a touchdown on the game. So, the Houston Texans put up a 40 burger on the Detroit Lions, and it is what it is, man. Overall pretty good. Let's take a look at the team stats here real quick. The Detroit Lions actually had more first downs in this game than Houston did. Let me see if anything else remarkable stands out to me. Not really. Everything was, pretty 76 plays for Detroit. Don't ask me how they weren't able to convert that into a win. 384 yards for Houston and 388 total offensive yards for the Lions. That's pretty decent. It was a well-matched game. It's just that, man, when it comes to touchdowns, Deshaun Watson he was on fire. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you are tuning in for the first time, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. So moving right on. So that was the Houston-Detroit game. So let's move on to the next one. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. So if you guys want to call in, if you want to call in live to the show and you want to give me your reactions to anything that happened in the NFL, whether it be the Ravens getting their game postponed again, whatever the case may be, you can call in and do so. So let me pull that up here real quick for you. Pull up the call in line. So that is the number for you to call into the show. 503-765-6807. Let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard. Like a shout to the heavens, let your voice be heard. I'm going to go to church up in here. All right, moving on back. Next up, we got, as soon as my computer loads the screen, the Washington no-name football team against the Cowboys. Washington put up a 40-burger against the Cowboys, 41-16. Washington. I picked Washington to win this as well. The Cowboys, last week, they got y'all. They caught some of y'all falling for the okie doke because they came out and acted like they actually were good, but they're not, and we should know that. We should know that by now. Dallas is not a good team. They're 3-8 on the season. Washington isn't a great team either. They're 4-7, but they're playing a lot better football than Dallas. So, Alex Smith is 19-26 on the day for 149 yards. He averaged 5.7 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 3 sacks for a passer rating of 83.7. Andy Dalton, 25-35, 215 yards, averaging 6.1 yards per pass, a touchdown, an interception, 3 sacks, and a passer rating of 84.8. Not too shabby. Alex Smith is like an older version of Matt Stafford. I think he's older anyway. He could be the same age. But it's crazy to see him still doing his thing. That crazy leg injury that he had last season. But he had surgery, an injury almost ended his life. But you know what? He's come back and he's doing something. But Washington really needs to do something about what they're going to their quarterback situation, because Alex Smith is not the future of this team. Let's just all be real. He is not the future of this team. He is not going to take them to a championship, and he's certainly not going to win them one if they were in one. Whether it be conference championship or Super Bowl, it's not going to happen. Not with Alex Smith. Obviously, Andy Dalton is backing up Dak Prescott, who's hurt. So really, I mean, neither one of these teams, I really don't feel like they're going to do much. The Washington football team, if they happen to make the playoffs, which what division are they in? If they happen to make the playoffs, they might have some fight in them. All right, so they're the NFC East. Yeah, so I think are they winning the NFC East? I believe they're winning the NFC East, but I'd have to look at the actual score. But if they are, if I'm right, if I'm correct, and they are, and they do end up going to the playoffs, they might give somebody some problems. They might just give somebody some problems with the way that they're playing right now. Okay, so moving right on, Antonio Gibson was the leading rusher for the Washington football team. 20 carries for 115 yards, averaging 5.8 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns for Antonio Gibson. So they ran the rock really well. Really good run game this game. Ezekiel Elliott, 10 carries, 32 yards, 3.2 yards per carry, no touchdowns. But you didn't pay Dak Prescott. That's a little suspect. You didn't pay Dak Prescott. But you pay this man to run the ball for you 10 times for 32 yards a game. I'm just saying. Pride comes before a fall, people. Make sure you stay humble. Make sure you don't get too big of a head like Ezekiel Elliott and act a fool, and you'll be all right. Pride comes before a fall. Moving on. Terry McLaurin was the top receiver for Washington, 7 catches for 92 yards. That's 13.1 yards per catch, no touchdowns. But Logan Thomas had a receiving touchdown. Amari Cooper was the leading receiver for Dallas, 6 catches, 112 yards, 18.7 yards per catch for a touchdown, one receiving touchdown on 8 targets. So a couple of incompletions going towards him. So yeah, I mean, all in all, it was it was pretty lopsided. 22 first downs for Washington, only 13 for the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, I appreciate everybody that's tuning in live. If you are tuning in live for the first time, you are watching the My City, My Game pod show. This is Raider J Reaction Tuesday, where I react to all of the scores and stats of all of the NFL in the week. We also do have Raiders content as well as Trailblazers content, but this is the time in the week that I take to show respect and love for the NFL and the game of football, because ultimately I am a football fan. And I just love the game. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell. And I got my shades on today because we're keeping it real chill, because Sunday was pretty stressful and I was real angry. So I got to apologize and and chill out, because my Raiders got a beat down in a game they should have won. But moving on. All right. 22 first downs for Washington, 13 for Dallas. That's too lopsided. Third down efficiency, Dallas was only 4 of 13 in third down efficiency. Not good. Not good at all. Let's see if anything else remarkable stands out to me. 247 total yards for Dallas, 338 for Washington on 11 drives for each team. Washington averaged 5.1 yards per play, and Dallas only averaged 4.3. Yeah, man, I think really Washington just, with time management, let's take a look at the time of possession, 35 minutes and 56 seconds for the Washington football team, and only 24 minutes for Dallas. So really, man, you control the clock, you establish the run game, you're most likely slated to win. Your chances of winning that game are going to go up dramatically as long as you don't have a bunch of turnovers, like the Raiders did, 5 in a game on Sunday. But I digress. All right, moving on to the next game. So that's the Washington football team versus Dallas. Washington puts up 40-plus burger on the Cowboys. The Cowboys are not America's team. Book it. All right. Oh, here we go. Raider J Reaction Tuesday. The Las Vegas Raiders versus the Atlanta Falcons. The Las Vegas Raiders go into this game. There are whispers about Derek Carr. MVP. AFC Championship. Josh Jacobs, #1 running back. Henry Ruggs, unstoppable, uncoverable, double team. And then, boom! All of that comes to a crashing halt. And you, Las Vegas Raiders, don't even manage to put up a single touchdown in the game. Not one. You know what? You should take that money that you pay in Derek Carr, and you should go give some to Daniel Carlson, the kicker, because he was the only one that managed to score your team any points. As a matter of fact, you were only able to get him within the ability to do that twice. Only 2 times in the whole game. Atlanta Falcons win 43 to 6. Taking their standing to 4-7 on the season. Raiders fall to 6-5. And I feel like an idiot for even mentioning the P word in our show last week. Me and Darian. Talking about Derek Carr going over stats looking better than his 2016 season. And here we are, 6-4, going in to a game that, look, no NFL game is easy to win. But going into a game where a team is 3-7, and you should win this game. You're averaging 30-plus points a game against the likes of Kansas City, New Orleans. And you come out and you put up 6 points in 4 quarters. You didn't even score in 2 quarters of play. All right. All right. Back to chilling. I got that over with. Back to chilling. All right. Derek Carr was 22 of 34. It's about to get funny. Be ready to laugh. 22 of 34, 215 yards, 6.3 yards per pass, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 3 fumbles, 3 sacks. Actually, technically 5, but they only counted 3. A passer rating of 70.1. Matt Ryan, 22 of 39, 185 yards, 4.7 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 sack. Passer rating 75.3. Josh Jacobs was the leading ball carrier, or leading rusher for the Las Vegas Raiders. 7 carries, 27 yards. 7 carries for 27 yards. 3.9 yards per carry. Guess who was the second leading rusher for the Raiders? A guy by the name of Nathan Peterman. 1 carry for 9 yards. Those are your 2 leading ball carriers, your 2 leading rushers for the Raiders. Ito Smith, 12 carries for the Falcons, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Oh, by the way, Josh Jacobs had no touchdowns. Neither did Nathan Peterman, Devontae Booker, or Henry Ruggs, who all carried the ball. Brian Hill was the second leading rusher for the Atlanta Falcons, 13 carries for 55 yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry, but no touchdowns. 125 rushing yards for the Falcons. And that's after you take 4 away by Matt Schaub. 40 yards. 40 yards for the Raiders total in run game. The leading ball catcher for the Raiders was Hunter Renfrow, 7 receptions for 73 yards. What's up? What's up, Hefe KC? MVP LOL. MV Pat. We'll see. We'll see. But no, yeah. All that possible talks about Derek Carr being MVP down the crapper now. Not if he keeps playing like this. Hey, you know what? If you guys want to call into the show, definitely call in. 503-765-6807. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in live. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I got a 500 subscriber giveaway coming up. I'm going to be posting that video here in the next couple of days. So make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you know when that comes out, because it's going to tell you what you need to do to be involved in the giveaway. So make sure you check that out. All right. Henry Ruggs, the second leading rusher for the Las Vegas Raiders, three receptions, 56 yards, no touchdowns. Not a single passing touchdown. Not a single wide receiver had a touchdown in the game. Not a single player had a touchdown in the game. Calvin Ridley was the leading receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, 6 receptions, 50 yards, 8.3 yards per catch, 1 touchdown. Hayden Hurst was the second, 4 receptions, 48 yards, 12 yards per catch, no touchdowns. And there's a whole bunch of other guys on this list, and I'm not going to name them all. Horrible showing for the Raiders. 13 first downs for the Raiders, 23 for the Falcons. Third down efficiency for the Raiders, 3 of 12. You converted third down 3 times out of 12 attempts. 5 turnovers for the Raiders. 1 turnover for the Falcons. Raiders had the ball for 25 minutes. The Falcons had the ball for 34 minutes and 57 seconds. 4 fumbles for the Raiders, 1 interception. And that interception, by the way, that Derek Carr threw went for a pick 6. So there's more points on the board for Atlanta. You know what? Watching that game, I needed some Mylanta. Not Atlanta, Mylanta. Because I had heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Man. All right, you know what? I'm not going to get off on a tangent. I'm going to move on to the next game because I'm going to talk about the Raiders in another video coming up here tonight or tomorrow. We're gonna address that. We're gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna go off too much on one game in this show because this is all about the whole NFL. So let's move on. All righty. Moving on to the next game as soon as my computer would hurry the heck up. Hey, make sure if you want to, you can call into the show. The phone lines are open. 503-765-6807. Make sure you give me a call. Let me know what your thoughts are on all of the games this week, anything that's happening in the NFL. We can definitely chat it up and talk about it. What's up, Roy? Shout out to you. You need to get over that loss, man. I'm trying, Roy. I'm really trying. What's up, Ashton? I'm really trying, Roy. I'm trying to get over it. But my God, what a shellacking. Like, it's rough, man. And I don't know if you're a Raiders fan, Roy. I hope you are, but if you're not, still nothing but love for you, man. But if you're not a Raiders fan, I don't know if you can really understand how much this Raiders team gets people's hopes up and then rips their heart out. But I digress. I'm going to move on. All right, Chargers, Bills. Bills beat the Chargers 27-17. Putting the Chargers at 3-8 on the season. Bills at 8-3 on the season. I actually thought the Chargers were going to pull this one out. I'll be honest with you. I had picked them to win this week. I thought they were going to, I don't know. My gut was telling me they were going to win, but my gut was wrong. Maybe it was more of a hopeful, situation. I am from Oregon, so I am a Justin Herbert fan. I love the guy. So I really hope the best for him, even though they're the Chargers and we're the Raiders and, blah, blah, blah. But I don't wish that the Chargers would do well, but I wish Justin Herbert does well, if that makes sense. All right, so Justin Herbert, 31-52 for 316 yards, 6.1 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, was sacked 3 times, overall QBR rating of 75.5. Not too bad for a rookie. That's pretty good. Josh Allen, 18-24, 157 yards, 6.5 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked twice. Overall passer rating, 88.4. Now, Josh Allen did go down with an injury. I do believe he is going to be okay. I'm not 100% sure on that. I do believe that he's going to be okay, but he did go down with an injury. I don't know if anybody in the chat happens to know, drop that in the chat if you've heard anything about Josh Allen and his injury status. All right, so moving on. So Cole Beasley jumped in for him. He was 1 of 1 for 20 yards, averaging 20 yards per pass, 1 touchdown. And then Matt Barkley was in there for a minute, but he didn't do nothing. He was just sacked once. All right, Austin Eckler was back. I've got him on my fantasy team. I was so happy. He helped me win this week, even though Derek Carr, who was my QB, did not. Austin Eckler, 14 carries, 44 yards, 3.1 yards per carry, no touchdowns. Devin Singletary was the leading receiver for Buffalo, 11 carries, 82 yards, averaging 7.5 yards a carry. The receiving, Austin Eckler was also the leading receiver, 11 receptions for 85 yards. That's 7.7 yards per catch. And then Gabriel Davis was the leading receiver for Buffalo, 3 receptions for 79 yards and a touchdown. So he actually had a 44-yard reception. So pretty good outing for Buffalo. Let's go to the team stats here. Let's take a look. So the Chargers had 24 first downs, which is definitely good. 23 for Buffalo. 16 passing first downs for the Chargers. Only 8 for Buffalo. That's an interesting fact right there. An interesting stat. Yeah, very interesting. Rushing first downs, 5 for the Chargers, 11 for the Buffalo Bills. Not going to really go over penalties. 79 total plays for the Chargers, 58 for Buffalo. Hey, what's up, Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk? Jay, you think the Browns and Ravens collapse down the stretch? I don't trust the Ravens. I don't trust Lamar Jackson to come through in the clutch when it's absolutely necessary. I don't think that he is as great a quarterback. I don't think he should have won MVP last year. I think a lot of that just had to do with their schedule. I think the guy's a great athlete. I think the guy can run. He's definitely, hard to take down. He's got great vision when it comes to running the football, but when it comes to passing, he's not that great. And like I said, it doesn't seem that he has that clutch gene. And the Browns, Baker Mayfield, let's not get it twisted. Baker Mayfield is not a good quarterback. Do not fall for the okie doke when it comes to the Browns. Baker Mayfield is not a good quarterback. They're just doing everything right out all around him, essentially. So do not be fooled. I don't think the Browns have what it takes in Baker Mayfield to go the distance, to get to the show. So that's just my opinion. I appreciate the question, but that's my breakdown. Not to get into it too much, but just give my basic opinion. So 291 yards for the Chargers, 160 passing yards for the Buffalo Bills. Man, Justin Herbert and their pass game is looking vicious, man. They get better coaching in San Diego, better coaching with the Chargers, and they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Butcher's Block says I don't trust either team. Yeah, for sure. Roy says, I was pissed that whole game, but now I'm looking forward and hoping we at least go 10-5. Yeah, Roy, I'm hoping that we at least go 10-5. But again, this is exactly what happened last season, man. We were 6-4 and we melded in the rest of the season. There was a lot of talk about Derek Carr being involved, heavily involved with his church and how much he was enjoying that, and which is fine. I'm not saying anything, but now he just had a baby daughter born, so I'm like, okay, well, was that a distraction last season? Is this going to be a distraction for him this season? Are we going to see him regress like he did last season around this time? What is going to happen is my frustration, because I always am behind the Raiders. I always believe the Raiders are going to succeed. Always, always, always. Even when we're terrible, I am one of those fans that will irritate the crap out of you because I'll be like, nope, we're going to win. Nope, we're going to win. Nope, we're going to win all the time. But I'm also a realist, and I also believe what I'm seeing in front of my face. And I also believe that when you repeat something, it's very, very often not coincidental, if you get my drift. And so to see the team, what the team did last season around this time, going into that Jets game. Now they go into Atlanta on the East Coast, and then they go ahead and they just fall completely. Not even flat. Like, they didn't even show up. It was like, I'm not going to get too far into it. You're pulling out of me, Roy. All right, but moving on. So I don't. Now I'm having trouble with my trust. It's like I was bit last season. Now I was bit again. All right, what am I going to do? Am I going to go in again? And now I'm drawing back. They had me believing for a minute, but hey, we'll see. Butcher's Block says, Jay, between the coaches being fired and big name players that could be on the trade block this offseason could be really interesting. Yes, it could be. It most definitely could be an interesting offseason, especially with a lot of the QB talent that's going to be coming in. Trevor Lawrence and that whole show. I'd be interested to see what the Raiders do and some of these other teams do in the draft, and free agency, things like that. But we'll just, that remains to be seen. All right, moving on to the next game. And again, I appreciate everybody, all the subscribers. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, man. If you have not subscribed, make sure that you go to My City, My Game. That is my YouTube channel is My City, My Game. We cover Raiders, we cover Trailblazers, we cover all NFL. We're going to cover all NBA as soon as the NBA season gets going here again. We're doing it real big. Make sure you go over to My City, My Game. If you're not watching from there, if you're on the Spotlight Sports Network, subscribe to Spotlight Sports Network. Go over, subscribe and like to My City, My Game. Hit the bell for notifications. I got a big 500. Once I get the 500 subscribers, I have got a huge giveaway going to happen. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Woo. We got our first caller.
Call from
Larry.
Yo, what's up, Larry? You are on the My City, My Game pod show, Raider J Reaction Tuesday. What's going on, my man?
I just want to say, man, what's going on with the Raiders, man?
You know what, man? If I had that answer for you, bro, I would be getting paid a lot more than I am now.
I don't think Chucky's the man. I think you got two problems. Chucky
Mm-hmm.
and Derek Carr. And you might have to start over, man. I'm not going to lie to you.
Right. No, I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you. I really, honestly, I don't know, man. I really don't know what to say. It's like,
This is Chucky's third year, right?
yes, it is.
You're supposed to have it together right now, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. This is his third year.
Right.
This is Carr's seventh year.
And I know you got some good draft picks, some young studs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're building for a couple more years down the road. They're building like the Chiefs did. You know what I mean? Because Andy Reid, I think it was fourth year he got Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
But even though when he had Alex Smith, he was still making the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So, I mean, if Chucky don't make his moves the next year, I don't know what's the drop off date. You know what I mean?
Well, so he was signed to a 10-year $100 million deal. So it's going to be a while before they'll go. I mean, as far as money is concerned, before they're going to be able to to really think about moving on from him. And Mark Davis is a John Gruden fanatic. Mark Davis loves John Gruden, so I highly doubt John Gruden would be the last person to go away.
If they don't make the playoffs, I mean, what? You know what I mean? He might push his hand. You know what I mean?
You never know, man. Yeah, you never know. I mean, owners do crazier things, and this is now the Las Vegas Raiders. It's not the Oakland Raiders anymore. So there may be other powers at play here. So we're not 100% sure. But, yeah, man, I wish I had an answer, man. I really don't. I can't call it. I don't really know. I know what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a team that comes out and they fight and they do well. And then for some reason, I don't know if they get bored or what, but it just seems like they're just going flat the second half of the season. So I really
Right.
can't tell you, man.
I think Gruden blows his load. You know what I mean? At the beginning, at the middle of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then
I really
and
do,
Derek
man.
Carr seems to lose interest part of the way through. He lost interest part of the way through last season, and I know that he's not, football. He loves playing football, but football is not his lifelong passion. He's not planning to do it, be a part of it for the rest of his life. So, I don't really know, man. I can't really call it, but something's got to give, man, and they've got to stay on track. But we'll see what they do over the next game or two to see how they turn this thing around. So I appreciate you
I think
calling in, though, man. Go ahead.
hey, trade Derek Carr, man. I said that last year. I said you need to trade. I thought they were going to get a quarterback this year, but I mean, there wasn't no quarterback this year, but
Yeah.
that were suitable. But I always said trade Derek Carr. I mean, trade him.
Yeah,
Trade him
that's a possibility. The other option, and something that I actually kind of feel like would be a better option in my opinion, is to keep him for one more year, draft a quarterback this offseason if in fact things continue in this trajectory. Keep Derek Carr, draft a quarterback, let that quarterback study under him, whether it be in the offseason and part of the way through the season, or or the whole season or whatever, and eventually kind of just work that new quarterback in. But give him a chance to really understand the NFL and study under Derek Carr. And Derek Carr is a good person, so he's not gonna
no doubt.
he's not gonna be one of those guys that throws a fit and refuses to be to help the new guy. Even if that guy's gonna take his job, Derek Carr will come through and do the right thing and be that mentor.
I agree.
So that's another option, but it just depends on both scenarios depend on what are you going to be able to get, what's the best option given the scenario. So
There's some quarterbacks out there, man. You could grab Sam Darnold, or so
yeah,
you never know.
there's some guys coming available, but we'll have to see what happens in the offseason, man. I appreciate your call, bro.
All right, good luck.
Hey, you too, man. Take care. All right, that was our first caller of the show tonight on the My City, My Game pod show. This is Raider J Reaction Tuesday. Appreciate all the subscribers. Shout out to you, everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jason Marshall, Butcher's Block, and Patriots Talk. Roy, Marcus85. Shout out to all you guys, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and commenting. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Yeah, we're gonna keep moving on. Jason Marshall says, "Oh wait, Butcher's Block, Patriots Talk says, who's your NBA team?" Yeah, it's right here. Trailblazers. Blazers. Rip City. I live in the Portland area, so I'm in Portland. I've been a Trailblazers fan my whole life. Kevin Duckworth, Clyde Drexler, all them guys. John Marshall says, I feel Gruden is overcoaching, trying to get too pretty, getting away from our bread and butter. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Josh Jacobs is a little banged up. So I really don't know, man. But our run game was dreadful last week or on Sunday. Jason Marshall says, I want Gannon get out from the booth. He knows every team's strengths and weaknesses. Gruden can use another set of eyes for preparation, in-game adjustments, offense, quality control. Gruden and Gannon pie. You know what, man? I totally agree with you, man. That was the thing about Rich Gannon back in the day. Everybody attributes John Gruden for kind of, reconstituting or reestablishing Rich Gannon's career. But there was a lot of times, man, Rich Gannon and John Gruden were arguing on the sideline over the play calling, or Rich Gannon would make adjustments and just piss John Gruden off. But Rich Gannon was that kind of guy where he was just like, you know what, if I see something, I'm going to do it, whether you like it or not. Because he had that mentality of, I'm going to win this game. I'm not going to settle for a loss. I will win this game, period. So I'd love to see Rich Gannon and John Gruden, in there. Rich Gannon is the QB coach, and or is possibly even like offensive coordinator or something like that would be dope. I really think so. Marcus85 says lack of discipline in John Gruden. Is this a thing? I hope not. I really hope not. I want to see the old Chucky come back. I want to see the guy that's yelling and cussing at people. I really do, man. Get these guys in line because this is BS. Roy says, I disagree with trading Carr because how long will it take another QB to get Gruden's system? Well, the thing about it is how long are you going to wait? Are you going to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait? And then, how many years are going to go by before we're sniffing another Lombardi, So it's a tricky thing. A lot of this, man, I'm going to tell you guys right now, a lot of the NFL is luck. A lot of the NFL is making the right decision at the right time, trapping lightning in a bottle. There's great coaches out there. There's great players out there, but as you can see with the Patriots, you get the right people in the right system at the right time and make the right decisions, and you have a dynasty and you have, tons of luck. I mean, same thing goes with Kansas City. So it's a gamble. Do you trade him now and take time to develop a guy, so that, in the next, 2 or 3 seasons, that'd be 6 seasons into, to John Gruden being the head coach, or do you wait? Do you wait, keep Carr? And I mean, it really just depends on whether or not Gruden believes and Mike Mayock believe that Derek Carr is going to take them to a championship. Gannon had that fire passion. Yes, he did. Gannon would be a good coach. Yep. Hefe KC says QB is key. Yes, it is. Hey, what's up, Lencho? Shout out to you, man. Bust a bucket. LOL, born and raised Oregonian. Heck yeah, man. Pacific Northwest, man. Rip City. Pacific Northwest, man. That's what I represent all day, every day. I'm okay drafting a QB, but not trading Carr at this time. Yeah, see, I would prefer that too, Roy. I totally agree. I would prefer to draft a QB, let him study under Derek Carr. That's going to be the quickest way for anybody to learn the system, is to learn it from somebody that's already had to learn it. King Savage, shout out to you, man. What's up? If we don't make the playoffs, goodbye, Carr. Yeah, I don't think Carr's going to – I think that if it won't be goodbye like gone, but it'll be goodbye starting. I feel like they will draft a quarterback in the offseason. In the draft, they will draft somebody to at least groom in the offseason, possibly the beginning of the season. Hopefully we have a preseason next season, and we'll just have to see what happens. But I really feel like they're going to move on in some fashion after this if we do not make the playoffs this time. All right, so the next game, Giants and Bengals. The Giants defeat the Bengals, which was no surprise. I knew the Giants would. The Giants are playing good football right now. Obviously, they're the Bengals are out their star number 1 pick in the draft. Poor guy went down with a gruesome knee injury, tore up everything from like his knee down. It's just all bad. Daniel Jones, 16 of 27 for 213 yards, averaging 7.9 yards per pass. No touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks, averaging, passer rating 84.3. Brandon Allen, the backup for the Bengals, was 17 to 29, 136 yards, averaging 4.7 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 sacks, passer rating of 67.6. What's up, Damian Hernandez? Shout out to you. Jason Marshall, shout out. Icy Nate, what's going on, man? Icy Nate goes way back, man. One of my first supporters. Jason Marshall, shout out to you. Damian Hernandez says, John Gruden starting to be like Jay Gruden in Washington. I'm not going to disagree, but we'll see. Lencho says, if you don't protect Carr, he falls apart. Yeah, Carr has to have everything perfect, man. He has to have everything perfect. Everything has to be perfect around him or he falls apart. Jason Marshall, if we lose to the Jets, goodbye Gruden. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know. With that 10-year, $100 million contract hanging over the Raiders' head, I'm not 100% sure. I really can't call that yet. Icy Nate says, should we sign Clemson, DC Brett Venables, since he's a young, fresh mind that would be good? Maybe. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. I I mean, he is the Clemson defensive coordinator, so they're a great team defensively and offensively. So, hey, man, anything right now is going to be better than Paul Gunther. Paul Gunther's got to be the first coach to go, in my opinion. Get rid of him, and then we'll talk about other people. Every QB falls apart with no protection. It's true. Well, most. DP, I see. What do we got to do to get him? Icy Nate says, what's up? Icy Nate says, DP, nothing really. You just offer him. Roy says, our O-line wasn't playing good at all that game. Yep. Carr needs great protection all the time. Yes, he does, man. He really does. And yeah, the offensive line played terrible in that game. The offensive line was horrendous. Brandon Parker was getting beat almost every freaking play. It was just one of the less good defenses was. I mean, they looked like the freaking Legion of Doom out there, or Legion of Boom, excuse me. Jason Marshall says NS on Wilson. Yeah. All right, so moving on. New York, their top rusher, their top ball carrier was Wayne Gellman, 24 carries, 94 yards, averaging 3.9 yards per carry, a touchdown. Daniel Jones was the second leading rusher, 6 carries for 19 yards. That's 3.2 yards per carry. That's like a pretty decent running back. Daniel Jones out there slinging the rock around and running the ball. So the leading rusher was Giovanni Bernard. Who the heck is Giovanni Bernard? I don't even know. 8 carries, 32 yards, no touchdown. So one rushing touchdown for New York, none for Cincinnati. The top receiver for New York was Evan Ingram, 6 receptions for 129 yards, no touchdowns. So no passing touchdowns for New York. T. Higgins was the top receiver for the Bengals, 5 receptions for 44 yards, averaging 8.8 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. You know what? The Bengals played better than the Raiders last week. My goodness. Lencho says, Jack Phil even said if you protect Carr, he will deliver. Yeah, he's got to have a clean pocket. I mean, he was using his legs. He was using his legs to extend the play, to extend plays, man, for a couple of games, at least 3 or 4 games. And then all of a sudden it's like, what the heck, man? I appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate all those who subscribe. Shout out to you. If you have not already, make sure you hit the like bell, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. If you're on the Spotlight Sports Network, jump over to My City, My Game. Give me a subscribe. That's the My City, My Game pod show channel where I do all the stuff, Raiders, Trailblazers, all NFL, all NBA, all the time. Go check it out. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. All right, so moving on to the next game for the NFL. And if you guys want to call into the show, make sure you do so. Give me your 2 cents, your thoughts on the games in the NFL this week. Next up, we got Titans and Colts. This was actually kind of surprising to some, not to me, because I had picked the Titans to win this game. I just had a feeling that Derrick Henry was going to have a game, and he absolutely was. What's up, Isabella Rodriguez? Says, I'm here. How are you, fam? Man, I am recovering. You see, I got my shades on, y'all, because I'm trying to keep it chill today. I'm trying not to get too crazy. Trying not to yell too much, man. Sunday I was yelling and screaming and angry, and I was ready to fire everybody on the team, on the Raiders team, but I'm chilling today, man. I'm chilling. What's up, JDog209? Shout out to you. I would watch your show more live, but Spotlight is the place to be because everyone is there. Hey, I appreciate it, man. But you know what? Like I said, if you guys do happen to get over there, I have more content coming. Check out some of the other content. Wherever you guys want to watch from is fine with me either way, because it's all Spotlight Sports Network anyway. But yeah, if you want to bounce back and forth or do half the show one channel, half the show on the other channel, it's all good, man. I appreciate you. No matter what, I appreciate you. Ryan Tannehill was 13-22 for the Titans, 221 yards. That's 10 yards per pass, a touchdown. No interceptions, 1 sack, and an overall QBR rating of 108.3. Phillip Rivers was 24-42, 295 yards, averaging 7 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 sack, and an overall passer rating of 84.9. What do y'all think? Y'all think Phillip Rivers is good? I want to hear what you guys think. Put it in the chat. Give me a call. Whatever you want. Is Phillip Rivers good? Are we falling for the okie doke with Phillip Rivers, or is Phillip Rivers was he not utilized in San Diego the way that he should have been and the way he now is with the Indianapolis Colts? Derrick Henry was the top rusher for the Tennessee Titans, 27 carries for 178 yards. He almost went 2 lengths of a football field, averaging 6.6 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. 3. Nyheim Hines was the leading ball carrier for the Indianapolis Colts, 10 carries, 29 yards. They only had 56 yards of total rushing offense. Poor. All right. Leading receiver for the Titans, A.J. Brown, 4 receptions for 98 yards, 1 touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, 4 carries, 81 yards for the Colts. That's 20.3 yards per catch, 1 touchdown. He had a 50-yard bomb that he caught. It's pretty nice, man. Let me move to the team stats here real quick. So, first downs for the Titans, 28-27 for the Colts. Go to the chat real quick, see if anybody answered my question. J-Dog says, as far as Old Man Rivers being good, J-Dog 209 says, not really. J-Dog 209 says, doesn't he have a good line? Yeah, they have a really good defense too. Best defense in the league. Marcus 85, it's going to be a low-key AFC West game when we play Rivers. We hate each other. Yes, we do. Lencho says, yes, really good line, hence why they have a QB that's not mobile. Absolutely. Yeah, Phillip Rivers has never been a mobile quarterback. And you get pressure on Rivers, he's going to throw interceptions all day long. I mean, he made Eric Harris look like a Pro Bowl safety. I think Eric Harris had three interceptions last season in a game against Old Man Rivers. Icy Nate says Rivers got killed by a bottom 10 Titans D. Isabella Rodriguez says he's seasoned, but just blah. Yeah, he's just, he's a game manager, doesn't light it up, doesn't do much. Like I said earlier in the show, he's like, Matthew Stafford. He's the Wonder Bread of the NFL. Like, it does the job. It's good, like whatever. It's pretty basic, pretty plain, does the job, but nothing spectacular. Isn't going to light up your taste buds or, anything like that. It's nothing fancy. You know what I mean? So they're Wonder Bread. That's it. All right. So total yards for the Titans, 449. That's a good game. 336 for the Colts. Man, some people are talking. So the Colts are at 7-4. The Titans are 6-3. Or excuse me, 8-3. And a lot of people are talking about the Indianapolis Colts going to the playoffs and possibly making a push to the Super Bowl. Let me know what y'all think. I don't believe it. Nope. No. I'm like, I don't believe it. I do not believe the Colts are going to go far in the playoffs if they make it. All right, moving on to the next game. So that was 45, Titans 26, Colts. Next game up on the docket here. Jason Marshall says, Trent Brown coming back is a breath of fresh air just in time for the stretch. Yes, most definitely having Trent Brown back is going to be awesome. Excuse me, guys. It's going to be awesome. I'm very much looking forward to that. All right, so moving on to the next game. Next game, we got the Panthers versus the Vikings. I had picked the Panthers I think I had picked the Vikings to win this one, but I can't remember for sure. I have to look at my pick'ems. Teddy Bridgewater was 19. No, I did pick the Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater was 19 to 36 for 267 yards, a touchdown, interception, passer rating of 74.7. Now, here. Check it out. Kirk Cousins. Who in the chat, who watching live, thinks that Kirk Cousins is a top 10 quarterback in the league? And now that you've answered that question in your head, he was 34-45, 307 yards. That's 6.8 yards per pass, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 sacks, an overall passer rating of 115.7. J-Dog209 says Rivers ain't the plug. Kirk Cousins was a good quarterback in this game. I was shocked to know that Kirk Cousins did this well in this game. I was shocked to know that the Vikings beat the Panthers 28-27. Now, it wasn't a barn burner. It wasn't a go off for, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdown passes or anything like that. But a passer rating of 115.7, you got a completion percentage of 34 or 45. I mean, that is really, really good. All right. Leading rusher for Carolina, there was, of course, no Christian McCaffrey, which is depressing for me because he's on my fantasy team and he's been hurt most of the season. And I picked him because I had the number 1 overall pick in my fantasy draft. And every single time I get the first pick in my fantasy draft, the person I pick always gets hurt. One year, the one season I had the first pick, I picked David Johnson. He goes down with a friggin' hand injury, and he was out for the whole season. I was pissed. Stop giving me the number 1 overall pick, but I'm still doing pretty well in that. I got big money on this fantasy team. All right, moving on. Mike Davis, 15 carries for 55 yards, averaging 3.7 yards per carry. Dalvin Cook was the leading rusher, of course, for Minnesota, 18 carries for 61 yards, averaging 3.4 yards per carry. This is actually in this game, Dalvin Cook was not the guy that won him the game. It was Kirk Cousins. Can you friggin' believe it? What in the world? We were in the Bermuda Triangle of the NFL season this week. The Raiders can't score a touchdown. Kirk Cousins looks good. Friggin' Indianapolis Colts go and just get destroyed. The number 1 defense. Just crazy, man. Everybody had picked the Colts to win. Everybody had picked the Colts to win that game. Man, crazy. Just a crazy week. The Washington football team just puts up 40-plus points. The Texans beat the Lions. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Freaking Broncos don't even have a quarterback. The Broncos asked the NFL if one of their coaches could play the quarterback position. What is going on? And the Ravens and Steelers still haven't played. And it's Tuesday. We still got one game we can't react to this week. It's crazy, man. I think the NFL's gone crazy. All right. I think I'm going crazy. Cardinals, Patriots. Patriots beat the Cardinals 20-17. Here we go again. Bermuda Triangle. Let me make a triangle. Bermuda Triangle. The friggin' NFL. Cardinals lose to the Patriots 20-17. Patriots are now 5-8. Excuse me, 5-8 on the season. Cardinals are 8-5 on the season. All right, going to the chat real quick. Icy Nate says, "Are you happy they gave us back a primetime game, Week 16 versus the Dolphins Saturday night at 5:15?" Yes, I do get a little bit. I do have a little bit of PTSD when it comes to playing around Christmas, considering in 2016, we all know what happened on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, Raider Nation. Your quarterback breaks his ankle and he's out for the rest of the season. You're going to go to the playoffs, but you're going to be playing with a third-string quarterback. Get me started. I put my sunglasses on today because I was going to be chill, but no. Nope. You guys pull it out of me. Damian Hernandez says, well, to be fair with Rivers, Brady was a phenomenal with the Pats, unlike now in Tampa. He ain't the same. We'll talk about that in a minute. J-Dog says, so hard to schedule games when I have to work in this COVID season. I get a day off. Then they switch it. Yeah, right. Damian Hernandez says, Panthers gave up like the Broncos when they faced Vikings last season after the Broncos was up 20, in the first half. Most definitely. All right, so Cardinals-Patriots. How did the Cardinals only score 17 points against the Patriots? Did the Patriots go out and get a good defense all of a sudden without us seeing? I mean, did they call the 85 Bears and say, hey, come over here and play for us today? And all of a sudden it was like some friggin' crazy Space Jam thing that happened, and all of a sudden 85 Bears, a bunch of lights swirling around and smoke and stuff, and they were all young again and went out and played against the Cardinals. Because Kyler Murray was only 23 of 34, 170 yards. Only 170 yards on the game. That's 5 yards per pass, people. I'm talking rushing average here. 1 interception, 2 sacks, overall passer rating of 67%. Cam Newton was 9 of 18 for 84 yards. Are you freaking kidding me? Cam Newton, why is he a quarterback in the league? Why is he a quarterback in the league and Colin Kaepernick can't get a job? Can somebody please tell me that? 4.7 yards per pass. Josh Jacobs runs more yards per carry than Cam Newton can throw. Athena Francis, what up, baby? That's my wife, Athena. What up, yo? That's my hot wife, just so y'all know. Oh, man, I'm in a mood right now. Y'all got me in a mood. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you are tuning in for the first time and you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're going to have a 500 subscriber giveaway on My City, My Game pod show. So go over and hit that like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications, because I'm going to put out the video telling what you got to do to get involved in that. Part of it is being a subscriber. So go over there and subscribe. We're going to have some more content, a lot more content coming out. I've been taking it easy here for the last couple of weeks, but time to get back up on it. Roy says, I'll take Cap over Mariota. Absolutely. All right, so Cam Newton, 9 of 18, 84 yards on the game. Overall passer rating, guess what? 23.6. 23.6. The freaking New England Patriots have a quarterback with an overall passer rating of 23.6 in that game. Kenyon Drake was the leading rusher for the Cardinals. 22 carries for 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Damian Harris was the leading rusher for New England, 14 carries, 47 yards. Arizona, the receivers, number 1 receiver DeAndre Hopkins, 5 receptions for 55 yards. Not a single passing touchdown thrown by Kyler Murray. But you know what? Kyler Murray has been he's got a rotator cuff injury or something going on with his shoulder, so it's very possible that that he is not 100%. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. I'm not making excuses for the man, but injuries are injuries. Being hurt's being hurt. Jacoby Myers was the leading receiver, 5 receptions for 52 yards, no touchdowns. There wasn't a single passing touchdown thrown this whole game. Goodness sake. New England is definitely not what it used to be, and I hate New England, so that makes me happy. All right, moving on. Next game. Dolphins versus the Jets. Hey, guess what? The Jets still haven't won a game this season, and guess who they play next week? The Raiders. They might just have a win next week if the Raiders come out and play like they did against friggin' Atlanta. All right, Ryan Fitzpatrick. So the Dolphins defeat the New York Jets 20-3. The Jets move up to 7-4 on the season. The New York Jets move up to 0-1 because they got 0-11 because they got one more loss. They moved up. Get it? Okay. Anyway, Ryan Fitzpatrick, 24-39, 257 yards, 2 touchdowns. Overall passer rating of 97.9. Ryan Fitzpatrick, in my opinion, should not have been benched for Tua Tagovailoa. I feel like Tua was the it was too soon for him. It was too soon for Tua time. So I think they should have kept Fitzpatrick in. If they're not going to, if they're going to move on from Fitzpatrick, you know what? They need to trade him. You know, he needs to go somewhere because I think the guy really can play. You know, if you can put him in the right position to do well. I don't think he is like, you know, a top 10 quarterback or anything like that, but I think he's good enough to pull a Nick Foles and possibly could win you a Super Bowl if you can get to the playoffs and do things the correct way. Sam Darnold was 16-27 for 197 yards, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks, overall QB rating 51 QBR rating. Man, they're gonna you know what I want to know? I want to know what Trevor Lawrence is going to do if the New York Jets still end up, which it sounds like they will, end up with the number 1 overall pick and keep Adam Gase. You think Trevor Lawrence is going to stick around or actually declare for the draft, or is he going to try to do another year in college or take a year off or something? I don't know. But definitely not declare for the draft because who wants to be a Jet? All right, DeAndre Washington, good old DeAndre Washington. Miss you, bro. Shout out to you. Nothing but love for you. Hope you're doing well. Once a Raider, always a Raider. 13 carries for the Dolphins for 49 yards. Frank Gore was the leading carrier for the Jets, 18 carries for 74 yards. The leading passer was Devontae Parker, 8 receptions for 119 yards. Mike Gesicki had 1 pass or 1 receiving touchdown. Rashad Perryman, four catches for the Jets, 79 yards. No passing touchdowns, obviously, for the Jets. They only scored 3 points in the game. Hey, they scored three less points than the Raiders. The Raiders scored 3 more points than the Jets. You know what? If the Jets play next week against the Raiders like they played this week against the Jets, and if the Raiders play this week against the Jets the way that they played last Sunday against Atlanta, it's going to be 6-3. That's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm moving on. All right. So, looking at the overall stats for this team, what time we got it? We're at 1 hour and 13 minutes. Hey, make sure you call into if you want to call in, give your 2 cents. Call into the show and I'll put you on the air. We'll talk about it. Roy says, relax, man. I am trying to relax, man. I'm so trying to relax. It's still, man. It's still fresh, man. I need at least another day, man. That's why I try to put my shades on so I can relax. I really did. I came in with the shades on so I could try to relax, but it's frustrating. Damian Hernandez says, what the hell happened to the Rams is my question. That is a good question, man. Adam Gase would give us opportunities on purpose, probably. Damian Hernandez says, I think he's staying in college for another year. No way in hell he's going to the Jets. I don't think so either. Icy Nate, he would put 12 men on the field. And Icy Nate also says, like he did versus the Pats. All right, first downs for the Dolphins, 22. You know what? I'm going to move on to the next game because this game, 20-3, and nobody threw a passing touchdown. I mean, come on, man. Let's move on. This is a freaking snooze fest of a game. Good Lord, man. The Raiders and the Jets, man. They better. Both teams better show up to play. I'm serious, man. All right. Sorry about that. My computer is give me just a quick second here. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Shout out to you guys. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in live. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. This is the My City, My Game pod show. This is Raider J Reaction Tuesday. We are talking about all things NFL, all things scores and stats and all that good stuff, and giving a live reaction. You can call into the show, 503-765-6807, if you would like to give me your thoughts on everything that happened this week. All right, moving on to the next game. Sorry, guys, I had to pull it up. My computer is being a little bit wonky, so I had to pull it up here on my phone. All right, Browns Jaguars. So the Browns beat the Jaguars 27-25. So this is why earlier when I said when the question was asked if the Browns were for real, that I don't think they are. They were only able to win this game by 2 points. 2 points, man. That's not good. That is really not good. It's really not. When this Jaguars team is not a good team. Not. And so for them to come out and only win this game by 2 points, I think it was by like they kicked a field goal or something like that to ice the game. That's just not a good showing, man. That's just no bueno. Damian Hernandez says, "Hey, don't feel bad if y'all lose to the Jets. Bears are losing to Detroit." Yeah. So let's see. Mike Glennon was 20 of 35 for Carolina, or excuse me, for the Jaguars, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, passer rating of 96.7. Baker Mayfield was 19 of 29 for 258 yards, averaging 8.9 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, 2 sacks. He had an overall passer rating of 116.7. The leading running game. Now, the Browns do have a running game. I will give them that. They do have a running game that is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Nick Chubb, 19 carries for 144 yards, a touchdown. James Robinson had 22 carries for the Panthers, 128 yards. So they both have really good running games. But yeah, overall, let's see. Let me go to the team stats. Overall, if you're a Browns fan, they're 8-3. If you're a Browns fan, be excited. You locked in a winning season. You at least give yourself that much. The Browns are locked in a winning season for the first time in I don't even know how long. And that's a good thing. That is a good step in the right direction. But Baker Mayfield is not a good quarterback. Don't fall for the okie doke. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, y'all. He's not a good quarterback, and this team is not going to do anything in the playoffs, even though they're 8-3. Their strength of schedule was very weak this season. And they're just, and like I said, they barely were able to beat the Jaguars, and the Jaguars are not a good team. All right, next up, 49ers and the Rams. Here's we're going to answer the question, what the heck happened to the Rams? What happened to the Rams is Shanahan. That's what happened to the Rams. Shanahan is a great coach. Shanahan is the dude can coach. I mean, look what happened to Atlanta since he left. Atlanta went from going to the Super Bowl to, like being able to celebrate because, they embarrassed the Raiders that didn't show up to play and had 5 turnovers. So San Francisco beats the Rams 23-20. Yes, San Francisco is banged up. Sherman was back, so I believe he did play in the game. Richard Sherman did play in the game. LA just had one of those games, man. Taking a look at some of the stats here. If I can get to it. There's the box score. It's definitely different on the phone. I like it much better on the computer. So Nick Mullen was 24-35 for 252 yards, 7.2 yards per pass, no touchdowns, interception. Overall QB rating of 77.3. Jared Goff, 19-31 for 198 yards. That's 6.4 yards per pass, 2 interceptions, no passing touchdowns, an overall passer rating of 52.9. So Jared Goff had a terrible day. He played terrible. Roy says Browns only have run because Baker sucks. Yes. Icy Nate says Rams pick 6, fumble, interception. Yeah, I mean they basically just they just had one of those terrible games. They're 7-4 on the season. San Francisco is 5-6, and like I said, Shanahan for San Francisco. I mean, the guy can coach his butt off. Deebo Samuel had 11 receptions, 133 yards for San Francisco. Cam Akers, 9 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown for the Rams. Mahim Mostert had 16 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown. And then the leading receiver for the Rams was Robert Woods, 7 catches for 80 yards on 12 targets. So, like I said, I mean, there was a fumble by Mostert, a fumble by Jeff Wilson in the game, a fumble by Kyle something or other. And yeah, it's just a whole bunch of turnovers, man. So it was one of those games, man. And San Francisco just, they just coach better. They just were coached better. I really think that's all you can really chalk that up to. All right, Chiefs Buccaneers. And just so you know, I had picked the Rams to win that game. I did not expect the 49ers to do that well. Chiefs Buccaneers, not the Packers, John. Okay, so let me go to the chat here real quick. Hey, what's up, BTR Juice? Shout out to you. Appreciate you, man. Says Saints are listed as possible candidates to trade for Stafford. That would be interesting. Let me go up here in the chat a little bit. Icy Nate says Deebo Samuel is Edwards' old teammate, and they both have the same skill set. Icy Nate says, yep. Lencho, Robert Salah is doing a good job for the Whiners. Hate to say it. And it's 4-3. Icy Nate says Salah gave everyone the blueprint how to slow down the Chiefs. Roy says, who I think is going to the Super Bowl, whoever comes out of the NFC East. Are you talking about the NFC least? Lencho says, hoping Edwards has a breakout year, man. We better not lose to an 0-11 team. Yeah, we better not lose to an 0-11 team. That's for dang sure. All right, moving on to the next game. The Kansas City Chiefs defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kansas City is 10-1. Excuse me. And Tampa Bay is 7-5 on the season now. Go to the box score here. So Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, 37-49 for 462 yards. I thought this defense was supposed to be something special for the Buccaneers. 9.4 yards per pass, 3 touchdowns, overall QB rating or overall passer rating 124.7. Tom Brady was 27-41 for 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, overall passer rating of 96.1. Edwards-Helaire was the leading ball carrier for Kansas City, 11 carries, 37 yards. No rushing touchdowns from Kansas City, but neither from Tampa Bay. Donald Jones had 9 carries for 66 yards. The leading receiver, I have Tyreek Hill on my fantasy team. He also helped me win the game this week because Derek Carr did not. Neither did Darren Waller. Tyreek Hill, 13 receptions, 269 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He was their leading receiver. Travis Kelce, 8 receptions for 82 yards. The leading receiver was Rob Gronkowski for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 6 receptions for 106 yards. Mike Evans had a couple of touchdowns, but he only caught 3 passes for 50 yards. So, definitely pretty decent there. Yeah. So basically, I mean, Kansas City does what Kansas City does. They went out with high flying offense. Tom Brady, I don't care what anybody says, he's not an MVP candidate. I think that's a bunch of BS. I think they people give Tom Brady too many excuses, and it's not just because I hate the guy, but to be honest with you, like, he just doesn't have what he used to. Everything has to be perfect around him. The same goes for Derek Carr. Everything has to be perfect around him. Same goes for guys like Sam Darnold, and things like that. Like, you've got to have a clean pocket and everything has to be perfect around you or you can't function. And that's where Tom Brady's at. Tom Brady is not the guy he used to be. And I don't care who says otherwise. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Roy says, Lencho says, hoping Edwards breaks out next year. I already read that one. BTR Juice says the Raiders need to hire Urban Meyer. And Urban Meyer, I like Gruden, but he can't coach consistently. Yeah, man. I don't know if it's a player's consistency or coaching consistency. I'm not 100% sure, but it's completely frustrating. But we'll just have to see what happens. All right, moving on to the next game here. Give me a second here. Let me get my... Moving on to the next game. Next game, Packers versus the Bears. The Packers defeat the Bears 41-25. I knew the Packers were going to win. I felt like it was going to happen. Obviously, the Bears' offense is terrible. Their defense is good, which is a shame because it's really a waste of great defense. And the thing about it is they had a good defense even before they brought Khalil Mack in. They still had a great defense. So then you had guys like Khalil Mack and some other pieces, and it's like, what are you doing, man? You used all that draft capital to bring guys in, and you got a terrible Mitch Trubisky. You bring in Nick Foles thinking, he might come in and actually play better than Mitch Trubisky, and that just doesn't happen. It's just a crap show, man, over there when it comes to their offense. So I definitely knew this was going to happen. I saw it coming. Let me pull up the box score here real quick, and we'll go over some of the stats. Hey, my computer's working again. Woohoo. All right, so Rams Packers. All right, or Rams Bears. Packers Bears, John. Come on, get it together. Mitch Trubisky, 26 of 46 for 242 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks. Overall passer rating, 74.7. Aaron Superman Rodgers, 21 of 29 for 211 yards, 4 touchdowns. Overall passer rating of 132.3. David Montgomery was the leading running back. Also have him on my fantasy team. Thank you, David Montgomery. 11 carries for 103 yards. Great running game. David Montgomery can run the ball, guys. David Montgomery is the truth when it comes to running back. They just got to get a better quarterback, man. They got to get a better quarterback and improve their offensive line. And this team is set if they can do that. But I'm not sure they can. I don't know if they can do that before this defense gets disassembled, man. Aaron Jones was the leading ball carrier for the Green Bay Packers, 17 carries for 90 yards, no touchdowns. Jamal Williams had a rushing touchdown. Chicago did not. Allen Robinson II was the leading receiver for Chicago, 8 receptions for 74 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown for David Montgomery. Robert Tonyan, 5 receptions, 67 yards, 1 touchdown. Devontae Adams had a touchdown. Alan Lazard had a touchdown. Mercedes Lewis had a touchdown. Great game by Aaron Rodgers and the boys, man. They went out, they executed, put up a 40-plus burger on the Chicago Bears defense, a really good Chicago Bears defense. And, man, it was a showing. Damian Hernandez says Nagy and Pace needs to be fired ASAP. Yeah, they need to get new coaching. They need new coaching. They need new GM. The decisions that they made, with the Khalil Mack trade and some of the other stuff. I said it. 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 As soon as I found out about the Khalil Mack trade, first of all, I was pissed that he got traded away. But second, I actually started to look at it, gave it some time, and I looked at it, and I decided, you know what? They traded away draft picks, draft capital, in hopes that Mitch Trubisky was going to be the next guy, and they didn't even know. Like it wasn't a known thing yet. And you go out and you make a decision like that, made no sense to me. And then lo and behold, come to find out, yeah, the Raiders won that trade. I don't care what you say. I do not care. Yes, Khalil Mack is a generational talent. Khalil Mack is freaking beast. I do not care though. They gave up way too much when they should not have. Now, had they had a quarterback that could take them to a Super Bowl and win them a Super Bowl, that would have been a great move. Would have been a great move. But it was the wrong move. It was the right move at the wrong time. Let's put it to you like that. Right move, wrong time. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, moving on. Next game on the docket. We got the last game, because, of course, the Ravens-Steelers game was postponed. Seahawks and the Eagles. Of course, the Seahawks, in complete and utter classy fashion, defeat the Eagles 23-17, the Battle of the Birds. BTR Juice says, I don't think Mahomes should get that contract. The salary cap on 2 years will not be nice. Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's a tough. I do not want to have to be the people to make these decisions, man. They're tough. I can sit here and I can armchair GM all I want, but when it comes right down to it, and you're talking about, do you spend the money? Do you not spend the money? Like, it's a chess match, man. It really is. So yeah, Seattle in a classy fashion. They're 8-3 now on the season, 3-7 for the Philadelphia Eagles, 23-17. Seattle Seahawks. I have a problem with the Seattle Seahawks, and here's why. When you go out and you play and you only beat a team by 6 points, you have a touchdown, and in the end zone, at their stadium, you start doing a Fly Eagles Fly celebration, right? Dude, not classy, man. If I was Pete Carroll, I'd be like, you know what? Go sit your ass down. It's like, seriously? You're gonna come up in somebody else's house, and you only scored, like 14 point or 2 touchdowns. The rest were all field goals. And you're down there doing the Fly Eagles Fly celebration in the end zone, just disrespecting this team. Show some class, show some sportsmanship. Don't be a douche. I didn't like it, man. Left a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't like it. I just had to speak my piece on that. I did not like that. I did not like that. Anyhow, moving on. Russell Wilson, 22-31 for 230 yards, 7.4 yards per pass, 1 touchdown. Only threw 1 touchdown. 2 of 2 sacks, and an overall pass rating of 102.9. Carson Wentz was 25 of 45 for 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and overall pass rating of 73.8. He was sacked 6 times, though. The Eagles' offensive line, y'all got to protect your quarterback, man. Protect your quarterback. Jalen Hurts came in. He was 1-1 for 6 yards. At this point, it's kind of a gamble because your offensive line is so terrible. But I'm telling you, Jalen Hurts is mobile. So I'm wondering, like, what do? You take Carson Wentz out and see how Jalen Hurts does, as far as getting away from guys? I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily want to risk it because, again, you don't want to risk injury. But at the same time, if he's a mobile guy and he can get around, move around in the pocket, and scramble and get out and get into space and make some plays, Man, why the heck not? Roy says Seahawks went for it on 4th down on the first drive. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they did. I can't say 100% for sure. Metcalf dropped a touchdown. Yes, he did. DK is on steroids. I just know it. It's very possible. Roy says Mahomes is overrated. BTR Juice says, I hope RG3 goes off. I like him. I hope so too, man. I was really disappointed of what happened to him, man. All right, so Chris Carson was the leading carrier for the Seahawks. 8 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Philadelphia's leading carrier was Carson Wentz, five carries for 42 yards. Mike Sanders had 6 carries for 15 yards. That's terrible. Good Lord. DK Metcalf, 10 receptions, 177 yards, but no touchdowns. Dallas Goedert was the leading receiver for the Eagles, 7 receptions, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. The Eagles had 2 passing touchdowns. The Seahawks had 1. Overall, man, like I said, it was a tough game. It was a fight, and I actually thought it was a better game I thought it was a better game than I expected it to be. I expected Seattle to do much better. I also expected, and the thing about it is, gosh, people were going off like DK Metcalf, like something about one of the coaches from Philadelphia had said something to him or something about him not being Megatron or something like that. And apparently then he went off and got no touchdowns. So anyway, whatever. 23-17 Seahawks. I think these guys are classless. I don't like them. I think they're a joke. I think DK Metcalf is a great wide receiver, but I also think he just kind of reminds me of Ezekiel Elliott when Ezekiel Elliott first got into the league. I just don't like that attitude. I like guys who are competitive. I like guys who want to go out and win. I like guys who want to play rough, and all that kind of stuff, old school, hard-nosed football. I like that. Talk your smack on the field, but at the same time, don't get so in your head and don't get such a big head and just become disrespectful. Keep it on the field between the players, and then you got all this stuff about him going on Twitter, just them doing the Fly Eagles Fly stuff. I mean, come on, man. Like, it's just, anyway, moving on. Damian Hernandez says, I don't think the QB was ever the problem with the Bears. I mean, yeah, Trubisky ain't nothing, but how can you hate on him when Nagy doesn't open the playbook more and won't let him use his legs? BTR Juice says DK was compared to Megatron. Yes. And BL, we still calling them douchebags. Yes. I guess. I'm just saying yes. I'm answering yes to that. What's up, BL, by the way? Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. One of the very beginning supporters of the My City, My Game pod show. None but love for you, man. So, yeah, man, those are all the games. We're still waiting for the Ravens and the Steelers to play. I think the Steelers are going to win this game. I also think that it's a bunch of crap that, first of all, the Ravens have not been punished for having like 17,000 people COVID positive. And, the Raiders lose a draft pick, and so does, I believe, I think the Titans were another team was punished with a draft pick being taken away. The NFL bias bending over backwards for the Ravens and the Steelers, because the Ravens-Steelers game, they want ratings and all this other crap. And I don't know. It's just a bunch of whatever. But the Steelers are going to beat the Ravens. My prediction is going to be, I'm going to say 41 to 23. Yeah, 41 to 20. 41 to 20 Steelers. BTR Juice says, I got the Ravens. It's 2012 all over again. RG3 and Dez are starters. Maybe. We'll see, man. We'll see. I hope RG3 does good. I really hope he does, but we'll definitely have to see. He's got to, Lamar Jackson, he ain't the future, man. He ain't the future. Roy says Steelers. Hold on, sorry. Roy says Steelers versus Ravens is set to play 2036. Yeah. BTR just says Ravens 38, 35 Steelers. Like I said, I think the Steelers have the Ravens number, man. It's going to be interesting though, because now they have to scheme for another quarterback, and things are a little bit different. But we'll definitely have to see if the Ravens could be better at the QB position. They would definitely be a force to reckon with, and would definitely be a Super Bowl favorite in my opinion, because I think they're a really good team overall. But when it comes to their quarterback play, it's just not up to par in my opinion. Damian Hernandez says Steelers 74-34 or 47-34. I think it's gonna. I think the Steelers are gonna put a 40 burger on this Ravens team. And I really don't have a lot of confidence in RG3. I hope he does good, but I don't feel like he will. Anyhow, so just so you guys know, that number that's down there, it's also down in the description. If you want to call in and leave a voicemail, you can call in and leave a voicemail, and I will definitely play it on the show, whether it be Raider J Reaction Tuesday, whether it be another video that I do on the Raiders or on the Trailblazers or on the NFL, whatever the case may be. Anything you want to call in about and comment on, definitely call in. You can leave a voicemail anytime, day or night. You can send a text message to that number as well. You can also email me at mycitymygame77@gmail.com if you want to leave an email for me to do on the show. Definitely do that. I want to get your guys' feedback, get your guys' opinions, get your guys' takes put on the air live. So let me know. Let me know. Hit me up on those numbers. Hit me up with that email. Let me know. Also, if you have not already, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Doing a 500 subscriber giveaway, and there's certain criteria that you have to meet in order to qualify for that drawing, for that content or for that giveaway. So definitely hit the like bell, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click all so you get all the notifications. If you're on the Spotlight Sports Network, do the same. We're trying to get that channel to 1,000 subscribers, and then jump over to My City My Game and also subscribe and like all that good stuff. So again, appreciate you. If you're on Facebook right now, watching on Facebook, jump over to the YouTube channel, My City My Game. Make sure you filter it and click on channel. On the little filter button that's on the screen there, click on that, click on channel, and it'll bring up the My City My Game channel. Also, I believe if you go to I believe in the Spotlight Sports Network, I think the link is there as well in any one of those videos. I believe so. So anyway, go check that out. I appreciate you guys, man. Good looking out. Have a good week. Y'all stay safe. Make sure you wear your masks. Let's get this freaking pandemic over with. I got nothing but love for y'all. I appreciate you, man. You guys are awesome. Make sure that, like I said, you stay safe and stay up, man. All right, peace out.
Welcome to the My City My Game Pod Show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go.
Hey, y'all, real quick, if you are still tuned in, you know what? I got one more thing I want to tell you guys about, and that is about the merchandise. So right now, we do have My City My Game merchandise available. Also, Spotlight Sports Network merchandise available. We got merchandise for all the channels on the Spotlight Sports Network. But I do got a little promo here. I'm going to show you guys an example of what we got on the website. So make sure you go check it out. I've actually got a couple of T-shirts and a hat in the mail right now coming to me. My City My Game. Check. So yeah, make sure you go check that out. Links down in the description. Hit that up. We appreciate it. All those proceeds go right back into the My City My Game channel. Rock it. Rock your favorite YouTube channel, because I know I'm your favorite. And now for real this time, peace out, y'all.
Welcome to the My City My Game Pod Show featuring Raider J77, your place for all things Raiders and all things Trailblazers. Brought to you by the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Now let's go.